The football landscape is about to change. Once wealthy leagues are now clearly in decline, and for the last couple of months, we've witnessed an incredible rise by the Saudi Arabian League. Cristiano Ronaldo even stated that the Saudi League will be among the top 5 leagues in a few years, and although some people call them crazy, I'll do you one better. I think the Saudi League will be the second best league in the world in less than 10 years. I know what you're thinking, but today I'm gonna give you the blueprint on how Saudi Arabia will take over world football. And by the end of this video, I'm sure you at least agree with Cristiano Ronaldo. So, the first part of their plan isn't really a prediction since it's already happening, and that is the aggressive investment on international superstars. Of course, you could say that China has done the same thing in the past, and fast forward just a couple of years, they quietly gave up on their plans, but if you stick around until the end of the video, you'll soon realize that this case is completely different. First, the quality and popularity of the players they are bringing in are incomparable to the ones brought to the Chinese league. While the big names back then were Hulk, Oscar and Tevez, Saudi Arabia are bringing Ballon d'Or winners and international superstars, and in much more quantity than China. Ultimately, it will still be a retirement league in the first few seasons, but no retirement league in the past had so many superstars. By the next transfer market, every team in Saudi Arabia will have a world-class player, and that is something that Germany, Italy or France can't say. In the end, what more can you ask than a competitive league that you can predict who's winning and that boasts superstars that you grew up watching? They're not just wasting money here, they're gonna turn that investment into some serious profits. I mean, with the big fan followings that these new players are bringing in, people are gonna pay up to watch the matches, buy merch, and that's gonna boost the league's value for sure. This is gonna make more players think about sticking around in Saudi Arabia longer or even making a move there earlier in their careers. Because unlike China or the United States, they'll still have that spotlight on them. The second part of their plan is to invest in their infrastructures. Don't get me wrong, once the current group of superstars hangs up their boots, you can bet they'll bring in another bunch of top tier players. They're not bound by those strict financial rules like the ones in Europe, so they can just keep splashing cash on superstars until they start breaking in profits. But here's the thing that many folks might not know. Saudi Arabia has a seriously rich football culture and a ton of fans of the sport right in the country. Even before all this big investment in superstars, al-hilal was already killing it as the most successful club in the AFC Champions League, and the Saudi Pro League was, alongside the J-League, the best in Asia. You could even argue that they've got way more football fans than quite a few European countries, so it's actually kinda surprising that this whole revolution didn't kick off earlier. With more and more kids getting inspired to become football superstars, and with the influence of foreign coaches and players, you can bet the Saudis are gonna go all out and build top-notch training facilities that can rival the biggest clubs in the world. And considering that most of the country's population is pretty young, you're almost guaranteed to see loads of Saudi young guns making their mark in the future. And with the chance to play alongside or against their idols, do you really think they'd wanna leave? Sure, some might, but regardless of what goes down, having these promising players coming from their own turf is gonna give Saudi Arabia's rep in the football world an even bigger boost. And by the time young prospects start appearing in the country, the third stage of their football takeover will happen, which is hosting the World Cup. In fact, I would go even further and say that the ultimate goal isn't to solely host a World Cup like Qatar did, but to actually put on a challenge similarly to what Russia and South Korea did. To achieve it, I can see Saudi clubs buying quality players who, for one reason or another, couldn't get a call-up and then naturalizing them and using them in the World Cup. I mean, they wanna buy their way to the top of the league's ranking, don't you think they'd go for something like this to up their game on the biggest stage? Those naturalized and experienced players alongside decent young stars, coached by a manager who has done it all in club football, could make a serious challenge to the big sharks in the international stage. It might seem far-fetched nowadays, but that's clearly the direction they're going in. And honestly, I'm not even entirely convinced Saudi Arabia will end up hosting the 2030 World Cup. But if they miss out on that bid, chances are they'll get the next one, and by then, their whole plan will be in its 11th year. Who knows what they could pull off by that time. But if you think that the Saudi League is doomed to fail and that this is just another case of a rich man having fun with his money, you couldn't be more wrong. What we're witnessing is a country working hard to transform its economy and reduce its reliance on fossil fuels. At the same time, they're also trying to change how they're perceived by the rest of the world, aiming to move away from being seen as terrorists and human rights violators. If they backed out of this project without hitting their goals, the country would take a major hit. So it's pretty likely that the Saudi League isn't just a passing trend, it's more like a real deal that's gonna stick around. And from a footballing point of view, it doesn't really matter if they're sports washing their image or not. In my opinion, our sport has become stale, with almost every top league being dominated by only one or two teams. The Premier League is currently the biggest in the world, and due to their financial advantage, have created a football monopoly where every top star eventually ends up there. It's good to have alternatives, and if we can have another league presenting a different product and putting up a challenge for football domination, I think that us football fans are the biggest winners in this entire situation. Let's not take a political approach to football. Nobody's a saint and corruption is pretty much everywhere. Let's all enjoy football for what it is, a game that unites us all and makes us all forget about the real problems in the world. And that is it. I hope you liked this video. If you did, hit that thumbs up so I know you want to watch more videos like this. And as always, don't forget to subscribe in order for me to grow the channel and stop recording next to loud ass neighbors. And of course, for you not to miss another interesting football video. Thanks for watching until the end, I appreciate you, and I will see you soon.